It's back. Go back the next day. Get free.
It's like
fireworks.
Chipotle.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, we spend I think it's like you get 10% back. So
Well, they leave so he has like a trailer park out there that's got his advertisement on it. And he like redid that whole lot right there just for fireworks.
Yeah.
You can make some money selling fireworks. I checked into it before.
Yeah?
It's a lot of work for a couple weeks, but you can make some money.
Cash.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
People must like sleep out there. They all have
Oh, you
like
have to.
campers out there.
You have
Guard
to.
your
You get robbed,
fireworks.
man. Yeah.
Probably that and also to escape the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't actually sleep, right? You just gotta like one eye open to keep an eye on your fireworks.
I bet you rotate. There's got to be somebody in that tent, or somebody to steal your stuff.
Yeah, right.
But they have a big, well, not people can jump a fence, of course, but they have a big fence around theirs, right? Or at least a
That
Yeah.
one does,
lockable
that's
gate
true.
or whatever.
Yeah, where you can't just
So,
drive off, you just jump it.
Yeah.
You know? I think it'd be better off it. I love sleep, so I'd probably just like hire a guard or whatever. Like, hey, give me
Eating in
you
your
do like
profit.
midnight to like 6, and I'll cover the
I'd
rest.
hire a teenager, give him a good 22 and a shotgun.
Yeah.
And tell him have fun.
Yeah.
No?
I don't care. I don't care what you do.
It's Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It'd be easy
Right.
money for a cop or something like that. Just sit out there and guard it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, summer. Awesome. Just to jump
Nice,
into this one.
nice.
We were talking about this, so top 3, and the top 3 is going to be top 3 video games, and
Our top 3 videos.
our top 3 personal video games. And I was thinking about how the summertime video game playing just ratcheted up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
too hot.
it was super hot outside. So yeah, you might have baseball going on, swimming at a friend's house, but there were video games, and also I don't know if your parents, but like my parents allowed me to stay up later during the summertime.
Yep.
So you play into the night, right? So
Into the night. Especially if
Yeah.
like
Into the night.
friends over for the night.
yeah, absolutely.
My son's had a friend over. They tried
Yeah.
to pull an all-nighter, and they made it till midnight. I'm
That's
like,
it?
it's
It's
weak.
pretty awesome.
Weak.
Wow, I can
Yeah.
go 24 hours at that age.
I probably there's a lot of
Mountain
times
Dew
we
and
saw
zingers.
5 a.m.
I did
yeah,
5,
yeah.
6
yeah.
a.m. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful. I feel
Playing video
feel like
games.
garbage the next 2 days, but
No.
it's part of it. Yeah, so that's fond memory, right? And I was always like a little behind everybody's console, so I got like the Nintendo when people were like moving into the NES. I got the NES when people were moving into like, what is it?
You're always a step behind.
Was it the Super
N64,
Nintendo? With
yeah.
that weird like where people were playing like GoldenEye, and I'm still playing
N64.
Mario 1.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something
Oh,
like
it's
that.
great.
Yeah.
I just bought Kyler that game the other day.
It's a great one.
On his,
So your parents were smart though. See, they got a discount.
Yeah, Also, video
Half
games
price.
were not necessarily something they. Yeah, so I will go to a friend's house. I could play on the new, like, the Sega or
Yeah.
or the PlayStation, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love that.
Good stuff.
Well, yeah. So let's. So that is something I think about in summertime. Is and my kids, my son for sure is doing that right now. Playing the old games, and I have a couple of my daughters even like them, so
Yeah.
they're into it. So, but yeah, so top 3 video games, our video games, and more than likely they're going to come from our childhood, I'm guessing, and I have thoughts on that as we move through this conversation. But who wants to get it going? Or you going to just run through you want to do 3-3-3?
Let's do 3-3-3.
Yeah,
All
that's
right. I
a
like
little more
that
fun.
rotation.
Yeah, it's a little more fun. Let's do that. All right.
I'll
All right.
go.
You want to go?
I'm saying finish him.
Mortal
Kombat.
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Okay.
Love that.
Okay, that was a good one.
Put in
Yeah.
the blood code.
I don't remember. That's too long ago.
Ripping the spine out of the guy.
I do remember being able to do like special codes, and it like did different finishes or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
Yeah, this is how not into video.
Yeah, but what it was
Kill
it was
him.
the best when you just annihilate your friend on Mortal Kombat.
victory.
Yeah,
that game.
It definitely. So I lived. I think I've told you guys this. I lived out in the country a bit. So like probably 5 miles outside of town, and so I didn't have like, and we weren't playing online at this time. I'm too old for that. So
Yep.
I didn't have friends. So games like that where it was better to have
There
like the
was-
2-player.
Yeah, there wasn't internet.
No internet.
There was no internet.
I think maybe like in high school the internet was invented by Al Gore, but
He did a good job.
he did a really good job.
Good job, Al Gore.
Good job, Al Gore. Al Gore, we're looking for sponsors or the internet. Either way, we'll
Yeah.
take it.
We're running off batteries right now too.
That's right. That's right. Running off batteries. So, but games like that I kind of avoided a bit. Not avoided. I played them, but I just never got real good at them.
Yeah.
So
I never owned. My parents wouldn't let me own that game, but I did play it. Like, for,
That's another part.
Yeah.
So I kind of mentioned this to Lucas. I kind of went console like as I progressed.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go. My 3 is gonna be my favorite Nintendo games.
All right, I like it.
And I
Yeah.
guarantee Lucas has one of these.
I mean, there's only one favorite Nintendo game, right?
Yeah, really. Like I
Yeah.
played it all the time.
Yeah.
Tecmo Super Bowl.
Oh,
That's your number 3?
Well, I told you I'm going in.
Oh,
yeah. It's
okay.
but I do think I progressed to
Yeah.
Madden. I really enjoyed Madden quite a bit. But so.
Yeah.
So Tecmo Super Bowl, and then I did like Super Mario 3, where you got to
good.
be like the
Yeah.
squirrel guy, fly
Yeah.
around, like
Yep.
or the raccoon thing, whatever he was.
Yeah.
You got to tell. I enjoyed Super Mario 3, and it was fun to
stuff.
try to win, like to get to the end, right? And I
Yeah.
thought that
Did you
was
ever find the whistles?
yeah, man. I loved it. That was fun.
You can beat that game like in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's
If you know
fun
where the
Can
whistles
you?
are.
if you know where the whistle.
Somebody in college.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Somebody in college taught me all that.
Yeah, the cheating. I think I
Yeah.
bought a book that showed me
No.
at one point. But
They
yeah, so
probably-
those were my classic Nintendo games
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
that I love.
I had
So
a,
those
I had
are
a
my
classic
3.
Nintendo.
Those are my 3.
fun.
So, old graphics, but
Yeah.
a lot of joy. Matter of fact, in high school, I used to go to a friend's house, and we'd have, at lunchtime, we had open campus. We'd go eat sandwiches at his house and play a round-robin tournament of Tecmo Super Bowl.
Do it.
The
So
Cowboys,
you know that
Cowboys weren't good.
If you have a Nintendo Switch account, you can play all those games now.
Yeah. Asher
Online.
Asher
Yeah.
has
It's
one.
pretty
so-
cool.
Yeah. We'll talk about how video games have phased out of my life. But yes. All
Okay.
right, Lucas.
My number 3 is a Little League Baseball. Did you guys ever hear this?
Yeah.
game?
Yep.
On regular Nintendo.
I remember
Uh,
that.
The team from Canada was pretty solid. I don't know why. Maybe because
Makes no sense. The Blue Jays were good in the late 80s.
Yeah. It was kind of like RBI baseball. Only had like New York, California, Texas, stuff like that. It was just fun stuff.
Yeah, it's cool. Oklahoma?
No,
Kansas?
no,
Oh, interesting.
no. Only the good little league teams are on there. So we
That's
went
cool.
on there. Yep.
No, that's good. I like that. Yeah, that's an obscure one, man.
Yep.
I bet not many people. I don't know if I ever even played it.
It has a 9.9 out of 10 rating online.
Do you guys
Wow.
remember renting video games?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Ah, that's
Absolutely.
the best,
Yeah.
man. The best.
Our competitive basketball team was called Video Mart because they would sponsor us. And my dad
so
got
great.
the guy will put Video Mart on the front. And he goes, whenever you guys win a trophy, we'll put it in the thing. So we thought it was cool. We'd win a
Yeah.
trophy and it'd be in the little.
Oh, that's so
That's
great.
cool.
Oh, that's so
Small
great.
town.
That's so great.
But
All
we
right.
did it. Yep.
Number 2, Anthony.
I am going with another one you probably never played or weren't allowed to. Resident Evil
Nope.
Yeah,
on
that was-
PlayStation.
was not. That was. I mean, at some point in my life, I probably could have because I was an adult. But at home, no. Also,
No.
I think the age gap here. I never even had a PlayStation when I lived in my parents' house. Like I didn't. It just wasn't something I
I had a
had.
PS1 back in high school.
I don't think I did.
Early junior high? I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah.
I did.
I don't know why I love that game
Oh,
so
I've
much,
never-
but
I've never
Yeah, I
played
did. I'm sorry. I did in
Yeah.
high school. You're right. You're right. I had a
Yeah.
PS1.
it had
You're
a
right.
cool storyline and it was a long game, right? Like it was forever
Well, they
to
had
like win
movies,
the whole thing.
right?
Yeah, movies
Yeah.
came out and stuff like that, but I don't know why. It was it was fun.
Killing-
Shooting zombies.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
There you
cool.
go.
Yeah, killing
There you
things
go.
are fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I will admit that it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fun.
His-
especially
that's
zombies.
his top 2 killing
Yeah.
things.
Killing things, zombies.
Nice.
All right, so number 2, I'm gonna go with some NES games. This is Super Nintendo. Cartridge went in the top. You guys remember, right?
I know what it
Yeah, had the purple and the gray. It was great. So, of course, NBA Jam.
You had that on Super Nintendo?
Yep.
Yeah.
Boom
I had that on-
shakalaka.
that's my number 2.
What'd you have it on?
Sega.
Sega. Yeah, Super. I never went Sega. Super Nintendo, and then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. I really loved that game.
Fantastic.
I
It
don't
was so
remember
fun.
I don't remember the turtle
You could,
game.
you
Manhattan
could,
Project.
yeah, you could.
Fantastic.
The hard. I remember the hard level too was when you had to swim and the electric stuff would get you, and you had to.
Yeah.
You couldn't stay underwater for a certain amount of time. God, you had to hit it
And they're
perfect.
turtles.
And they're
Yeah.
turtles, man. It didn't make any sense, but it
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah.
I guess it was the human part of them.
Was NBA Jam the one where the net would get on fire? After
Yeah,
they said You're on
dude.
fire.
Yeah.
You're
right?
on fire.
Yeah.
Also,
He's
it was
on
2-on-2.
fire. Come on now.
Yeah, he's on fire. Sorry.
Messing it up.
Boom shakalaka. That was good stuff, man.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Also, they had odd pairings, so like Shaq and Scott Skiles.
Yeah, I wrote down some.
You remember that? Yeah. I love that. Like the Supersonics were great. That was good. Of course, yeah, the Bulls were good. I still want to say they had like Cartwright on there or something.
No, it was Pip. Well, you had 3 players.
Yeah, you got 3 on
you
them.
could get, and I'll talk about this. That's my
Yeah,
number
that's
2
cool.
as well.
That's cool.
But you could go ahead.
No, that's it.
Finish
I
up,
was gonna
finish
say
up.
there was a couple of NES games that I did enjoy. It was my first taste of Madden.
Yeah.
And it was Madden 95, and the
Nice.
one reason that one was good is because I think it was the first time that you could do like a long season or like a franchise, if I remember right.
Franchise, yeah.
And the Cowboys were still legit, like
Yeah,
they were good,
95.
man. So like we still had like a solid team, no Eggman wasn't concussed, Emmett was like, and Madden really loved the Cowboys, so we rated them all like 95 plus.
Yes, they were dominating.
So they were good, man, and so it was fun for me. And I remember Madden 95. I just really enjoyed that one. So
Well,
anyway,
he took it from horizontal to like vertical too.
Yeah. So you weren't
See.
coming across the field; you were
Yeah.
going, and you could change the weather. Do you remember this?
I do.
I love that. So you could do snow, rain, or not. That was great. It was great.
Wind.
Yeah, it was good, man, and it was just fun. It was It was almost impossible to complete passes, but it was still fun.
Yeah, fun.
It was still fun. Yeah, yeah.
I think I had Madden for 64. I never owned. I never had a Super Nintendo.
I never
Yeah,
had
I
a
didn't-
64.
I didn't
That was GoldenEye, right?
Yep,
That was.
yep.
I played it with buddies at their house, but I never had one. So
Yeah, my
yep.
boys still pull out the 64 every once in a while.
Yeah,
NFL
Star
Blitz 64. Right?
Star Fox. It's like flying around.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
I remember that one. Yep.
My number 2 is NBA Jam from the Sega. So it's like 2-on-2. There's no fouls, right? You can just push them, you hit them. It's like
Oh.
arcade style.
Mhm.
It's fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite team was the Hawks.
Did-
They had Dominic Wilkins and I think it's Stacey Ogman.
Yeah, I was
but they
gonna
could shoot-
say.
they could shoot threes.
Maybe Steve Smith.
He might have been on there too. I don't know. But you could put in your initials and it would keep track of like your record.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So there's like 300 and like if you're getting ready to get beat by one of your friends, you're like, oh, sorry, turn it off.
AMH.
Okay, gotta keep that.
AMH.
Yeah. But if you put in certain codes like I don't think it was like NET or R, you get like Bill Clinton. Did you know this?
Yeah.
You get Bill
Yeah.
Clinton as
Yeah,
a
I had
player on
that,
there.
or like you could have like the boost constant, like all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good, man.
was fun
That was fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I spent a whole spring break playing that one time, like just constant. I remember that.
Yep.
That's good. All right, number
My
one,
number
Anthony.
one, it's not a specific one, but any wrestling game. That's like I was like obsessed with like WCW, all that. I remember like versus NWO. I don't remember what the games were called now. And then
That's awesome.
I had buddies who were huge into it, and they loved those games, man. I was bad at them.
I loved them. I played them all the time. And that's you talk about sleepovers and all nighters.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
when I was at my friend's house, we would play wrestling matches.
Yeah, I bet
you
y'all
know,
were so.
all
I bet y'all were
night.
so loud.
So
I'm
you
sure we
played the
were.
wrestling on the TV, then did you guys have to act it out too?
No, no.
course
Oh,
they
come
did.
on now.
No.
Suplex.
I did that on my brother, my younger brother.
Oh.
Yeah, on the
DDT.
trampoline.
Yeah.
He was my wrestling
Yeah.
dummy
Yeah.
on the trampoline.
My best
so-
friend was big into it. He'd always put me in like a. God, I don't even remember what it was called, like a figure four. Like, get off me, man.
Oh, he locking you up.
Yeah,
Like
like
Ric Flair,
yeah,
Bret
like me.
Hart.
Woo!
But I had
that's
I
good.
had it
That's
on
good.
N64, and then I really
That's good.
upgraded when I got
yeah.
PlayStation.
And it was
you
almost
know.
as involved as Mortal Kombat, though, with like the back, forward, back,
Oh,
back,
yeah,
back, and they
all
would
the
do
time.
like break a table over, or a
Yeah.
chair over somebody. It was like,
And I remember there to do certain moves, you had to like go with a certain combo on the
Yeah.
stick
yeah,
and the
it was.
buttons and
That's
all
where
that.
I was out. Like,
Yeah,
I just wasn't good
Wrestling was huge back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge.
at that.
massive.
Hogan made a big like villain turn.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Heel.
yeah.
Oh, it was good.
NWO in
Yeah.
is that what it was?
New
Yeah,
World
that was-
Order.
New
Yeah.
World Order. That's
For
it.
life. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
life.
See?
Yeah.
We
He
all
Yeah.
watched
dyed
it.
his beard
Black.
black
Yeah.
at the blonde. I
Yeah.
didn't really watch it that much.
WCW versus because what was the other one? WWF, right?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
had two separate.
Wasn't it?
WWF was like Stone Cold, and
Yep.
they were like kind of raunchy, you know.
But they
like,
were the
didn't-
ones
they didn't have
that-
no rules. They
Well,
were
do you
just-
remember like when I was a kid, they had the cartoon. Do you remember that? The wrestling cartoon
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
with
they
Roddy
had
Piper and
Roddy
Hogan. He was the
Piper.
bad guy in the cartoon.
Yeah.
It was like wrestlers.
I remember it. Yeah.
And check this out. One of my favorite. We can go over this like nostalgic toys, which you might have already done that. But they had the you could
I
get
got
like
'em.
Hogan and
Yeah.
the thumb wrestlers. You could get them and they were awesome. You're like
I remember
Yeah.
those.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But that was old, man. Junkyard Dog was in there.
Hacksaw Jim.
Yeah,
Duggan.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh,
good, man. I
that's
didn't
good
have
game.
cable, so I think it was on like TNT or something like that,
Yeah.
right? And I didn't have
I think
cable, so I didn't really ever get into it
You
that
missed
much.
out. You
Yeah,
missed out.
you can tell my
8 to-
parents. I told my
8
parents
to
all the
10
time.
every
Monday night.
Yeah, I told my parents all the
Monday
time.
nights were the big night.
Yeah, you
I
had to
think.
flip back and forth.
Then you had
between-
pay-per-views too.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
and then sometimes my parents let me order pay-per-view or
We have to
went
talk
to
about
friends
pay
or
per
something.
view. We might talk about that sometime. Like, definitely put some money into some boxing and UFC in my day. So.
Right?
All right. Well, did you just do your
Yeah,
number
you're number one now.
My number one. All right, so this is a progression into the PlayStation era for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first, and I think there's a theme here. Sports games are my favorite. And I did pick up like a love for soccer in the mid 90s. And so when I got a FIFA 99,
Nice.
yeah, and I really
99.
enjoyed FIFA 99. And I want to say, like, I think I could be wrong. I mean, it was just such a global game, right? So you could be Barcelona, you could be Real Madrid, you could be, and Beckham was like a huge guy in the 90s, right? And so like you could play with these teams. I don't know, man. I just really, really, really enjoyed FIFA in 99. I liked it. And then the other one, because I got like 2 for each.
Yeah.
The other one is
games here.
Madden 01.
Madden 01.
So I don't know, like graphics wise, it just like took up. I just remember it going like when I first played it was like holy moly, and now it's unbelievable, right? But and it was harder. Like the computer defense was harder. You could create a player in 01. You could you create yourself. You could be quarterback for the Cowboys if you wanted to be. Maybe I don't know.
5'6".
That might have happened when I was 21 years old that I made myself a Dallas Cowboys quarterback. No. Yeah, we fudged the height too. The complexion, the haircut stay the same, but we definitely want to be 6'4" and a runner. I want to be a runner, which is impossible,
That's
right?
awesome.
So I remember that, and then also went to college and we had it, and so we would play. Golly, this is probably when my grades weren't so great, but we would play like on a certain night of the week, like Tuesday nights. We would have in the dorm rooms multiple guys had the same game.
Yep.
And you could merge franchises, like you connect and sign in. It wasn't I guess for the first time maybe we had like internet connected to it.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out how this worked, but we had our own like legit franchise, and we would play. You play the computer game.
Yep.
When it was time, but then this one night a week we'd all like do our matchups that were head to head. So like if I were the Cowboys playing like whoever might have the Eagles, it was fun, man. We had a good time with that. So I definitely enjoyed that. Anyway, those are my ones.
Those are good. Both
Yeah.
of you good.
Yeah.
My number 1's Tecmo Super Bowl.
It's great.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm back-to-back dorm champ on that.
I can imagine.
I don't know if
shit.
I've played that game.
What? Dude.
I need to get it fired up. It's better if you can find like I still have my old Nintendo.
Yeah.
If you can get it to work on your old Nintendo with the old remotes, it's better than like the new stuff. But
It is.
it's fantastic. It's the first one that was NFL licensed with the Player Association. So it was the first one that had like their actual
The
names
real names,
and
yeah.
pictures because
Yep.
it didn't really look like
Was
them. But
digitized.
it was
But,
amazing.
and the Niners were good.
Niners.
That's
were
why he likes it. The
fantastic.
Niners were like super
So
good.
you had to
It's like
pick a-
Roger Craig, like who? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just,
Tom Radman. You
yeah,
had to pick a
stupid.
player on defense, and you had to stay with him the whole time.
yeah.
So you'd get
Ronnie Lott.
Ronnie Lott or Charles Haley. Yeah, it was fantastic. You got
So
to
the
play.
Cowboys had Thomas Agee as
They
their
were
running back.
terrible.
They were so bad. So it was like what, 88, 87 game or 89? I don't know.
91 roster. Come on now.
No, it couldn't have
91.
been because it's right because Aikman and Irvin were
Yep.
on there,
Yep.
but not Emmett.
So you'd win like the division, and it would pop up on the screen like
they
NFC
were
West
so
champ.
bad.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get it.
Touchdown.
You can simulate a season like in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's
It'll
super
go
fun.
doot. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
it is. It is fun.
You would get addicted to it if you played it. The games last
Yeah.
like 5 minutes.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's like Tecmo times, like tick 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 tick.
Also,
Yeah.
I think
That's
you guys.
perfect.
We can talk about this in a minute. That's your number one.
Yeah,
Number one. All right. So
of all time.
one of the things that bugs me about video games now is the load time is unbelievable compared to
Right.
like Nintendo.
Yep.
As it progressed, it just was like that. I get very impatient when I'm playing a game like with the kiddos. I just do. I just don't like that. It makes me. It irritates me.
Got to load all those sweet graphics.
Yeah, it does, and then they're amazing.
Yeah.
I think in a Tiger Woods, golf, like EA Sports Golf. I love
Yeah.
that game. It's so fun. But I
Meyer
just
has
get real
MLB
frustrated.
The Show 24. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Graphics.
I've heard it's awesome. Some baseball games are kind of almost on my list. I just didn't quite get into them as much.
They're bringing out the college football game again.
That one.
That's pretty high on my list.
That was high on my list. Yeah, I still like Madden because I'm definitely a pro sports guy. But that college football game
Yeah.
was
my
When's
brother's
the last time
shit.
they've had a college football game?
like
10, 15. It's been a long time.
It was the
They had
tens.
they had a good college baseball game when I was in college
No.
playing.
I remember
And
that. I
it was-
remember that actually.
Yeah, NCAA, whatever. I don't know what it was
Everybody
called.
hit home runs.
But now they're putting like people's names on it and paying them and
Yeah.
things like that. So
NIL.
it's like Madden only for college.
Yep.
My brother's been texting me for a couple months, like, you're going to get. I'm like, calm down.
But the thing about it back in the day is they still had the players and their ratings. They just didn't have the right names.
Right.
They had the numbers, everything.
Right.
It is kind of cruddy
Yeah.
when you think about it.
But they do the stadiums and their traditions.
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I remember playing with Washington was real good, like back in
Yeah, early 90s.
early 90s, and so like you played the college. Well, yeah, they had a couple of runs, but like
Yeah.
you could play at their stadium and it's awesome because like in the mountains and it rained all the time. It was really fun. That was fun, man. That was good times. Well, we talked about the time that we have spent in video games, and I think you guys have boys, and I think boys lean this way just a little bit more. I'm not I know girls are into gaming as well. I would just say in my house, it is an obvious difference to the level that my son wants to put into it compared to my girls. Man, we've talked a ton, and I've got it on my phone, so you're going to have to bear with me in a second. We've talked a ton about idols and what we give our time to. And video games are like this kind of false reality. I talked about creating myself as a quarterback. Is this like kind of false reality? And I think, honestly, as you grow, and my son and I talk about this a lot, probably pretty rare that you're going to make a career out of it, right? And I think to be a father and the husband that you need to be and a Christ follower you need to be, it's probably going to be a very, very small part of what you do with your time, right?
I will say I heard this first time. This kid goes to ORU. He's on some kind of video game team, and he makes money.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
It can happen.
It's like a credit. It's like a credit, I think, to your degree or whatever. But I was like, holy cow.
They have e-game teams, man.
In high school.
Didn't know that. I didn't know that existed.
The kicker, though, is just like everything else. Like, I mean, that's like saying, I'm going to be an influencer.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to make money on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, we're making tons. We're raking it in. Yeah, it's probably... It's probably not going to happen. And so I've got a few things here, but thinking of Matthew 5:30, and if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell. So I think the reason I brought that up, and I got a few other verses too, is that it speaks to the seriousness of dealing with sin in our lives, right? And so Jesus uses that strong imagery to emphasize the importance of addressing anything that leads us astray from following him. And while literally not cutting off that piece of the body is not what he's asking us to do, it's a clear message that we must be willing to make difficult sacrifices and take drastic measures to remove sin and temptation from our lives. And I think like in our modern context, and I think what has happened is we become, and I am right there in it right now with my job and kids and everything, but I think the busyness, and I think Satan is probably just like sitting back saying, awesome. And it's not because we're probably in our heads thinking that we are these, I'm not cheating on my wife. I'm not like a crazy, I'm not, abusing I probably should work out a little more and eat better, but I'm not crazy abusing my body with substances. I'm not, like the things that we think about, I'm not going to kill somebody. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like we got some of these things in check.
What we call big sins.
Yeah,
right?
Big sins, integrity, those things. But I think that what it really made me think about is just the modern context of letting go of habits, activities, relationships that hinder our walk with God, right? And so it's something I talk to my kids about quite a bit, and I need to do some introspection on. But I think that this verse reminds us that, man, it is extremely important to make sure God is the focus. And like the video games are fine for fun, but if you can't put them away and they become something you're obsessed with, and man, I know plenty of adults that are, right? And I think my age is probably a little less, but I know plenty that are in their early 30s, right? They grew up with it pretty heavily, connected to the internet, playing across, the globe. It's an escape from reality. It's an escape from it's an idol, really. And I know we have tons of those in our life, but a couple more verses. Luke 9:23 through 25. Then he said to them all, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will save it. And so that's Jesus talking, right? 1 John 5:21, little children, keep yourselves from idols. It's a good one. Hebrews 12:1, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. These are emphasizing the importance of addressing sin and temptation in our lives and making sacrifices for the sake of following God, wholeheartedly avoiding idols. So that's my thought. Video games are awesome, super fun. I think they're so involved now that they maybe just as something that we should discuss and talk about with maybe our the younger generation. But
absolutely.
Yeah, they can interfere with socialization.
Yep.
There's all kinds of issues that can evolve around.
Yeah,
video games,
it's not the only thing either, right? We have plenty of that in our lives. I mean, it could just be TV, right? That thing is crazy immersive. It could be this phone, right? It could be. It could be a lot of things. Just using the video games as an example of, you know, as you grow and mature, I just don't know how it can be a big part of your life.
I think we were kind of fortunate that we played it quite a bit, and then we kind of just phased out of our lives.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us even really play.
I've never online gamed or anything like that.
No.
It's probably been 20 years since I played video games until recently when Meyer got MLB The Show 24, and it's actually kind of cool. So every once in a while I'll play against him or something like that.
Right.
But
it's been a while. I think that too, that connection piece, like when I played, it was either you play by yourself at home or like you have to be at a friend's house playing with them. And even then it was like maybe the opportunity as we got into newer systems, 4 players, right? But that kind of was a cruddy because split the screen 4 ways. So like it wasn't the greatest. Madden kind of helped with that a little bit, but I think, I think now it's like, man, I think my son would rather stay home and play online with friends than go to their house and hang out. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not, you know, he's 17 years old. I get it. It's his fun thing to do, but we do often talk about like, hey, if I were to ask you what's the most important thing in your life, you know, what would you tell me? And he'll say the right things, and I'll be like, well, what does the action say? And he could say the same to me, right?
Right.
And I think it's a good question to ask yourself pretty consistently. What are the idols in my life, and what should I carve out? So anyway,
and we have to force. I know we at my house we take like their little switches away, or they'll just be on it for days.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys,
give them some guidance.
Go outside for a while.
Yeah, pick your Bible up, right? Like let's be intentional about the things that are important.
And it changes if they're on there for longer than they need to be. Like it changes their attitude too, and just in the day,
time.
Like the intensity, right? Like
they're. I'm like, all right, you're done for.
I lost the game in the show. I'm upset. That's good. That's my thoughts. Video games.
I like it.
Yay. Well, talk to you guys later.
See you.
See ya.
Adios.